You're Zabludowski.
You're
Sorry.
That was a good one, actually.
You're listening to Recovery Mode, a wellness podcast for people who hate wellness podcasts.
I don't know what we're doing, but she knows what we're saying. All right.
Every once in a while.
I'm Jack. She's Marce. We're back.
Hello.
I think we'll just go from that.
Hello. Yes,
Hello.
very good.
All right. So let's see. Today we want to talk about just continuing the idea of what is going on in your body when you spend so much time in this crunched up flexion state, forward neck, breathing through your chest, not through your belly. Just like there's just this whole series of knock-on effects. And so today we're going to start talking about the effects on your gut and your digestion and pretty much everything down here in your abdominal region.
Right. So I do something also called Arvigo Mayan abdominal massage. And in that we talk about pretty much everything that makes us outside of our, brain and nervous system. All of our organs are housed pretty much from, under our ribs to our pubic bone. So pretty much
you got heart and lungs up here, everything else down here.
Everything else that keeps us alive, is down in here. And so how can we increase the homeostasis through hemodynamics?
Whoa, those are two nickel words.
Right, that's our catchphrase. So how do we do that? How do you increase the blood flow, which is the hemodynamics, to increase the homeostasis, the overall general well-being of the organism, which that organism is us, hopefully in this instance, or someone we love.
Sure.
And all of not just digestion, but if you're a woman or a man, we have fertility issues that can happen in that area. And, a lot of other monthly issues for different women. And then some of those bigger life issues, trying to get pregnant or, maintain pregnancy can be challenging if we have a lot of compression and congestion and no space, right? We talked a little bit about our lungs and our heart needing space to expand in the last episode with our cardiovascular capability. In that same way, our digestion, everything needs room to do its job. It's like putting it in the tiny house and expecting it to get everything done from that position.
It's Mr. Incredible in that tiny little car, and he's stuck in there, and he has to break it anyway.
Right. And how many miles of intestine do we have? Those things always fascinate me.
I think it's 1,000.
Yeah, it's like it can wrap around the world, or maybe
you
not
hear
like
those
that.
things, but I really don't want to see that.
I've contemplated if that's true or not, but still, I think it's giving you this concept that we have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of footage of this semi-permeable membrane that is absorbing all of that nutrition for us. I think too, it's really cool is if you've ever done any detoxes, sometimes things come out of seemingly nowhere. And it's like, well, if this is just one road, how are these things hiding? But when you think about the actual lining, I think it can really crunch up, bunch up, create a lot of these wrinkles and divots where little seeds or berry, things.
Some of those things get names like diverticulitis, and when you have these polyps, different itises are really inflammation stuck in like specific areas because of adhesions or different bulbous. I don't know. I'm not the expert.
Different little things getting, all creamy crammed up in there. Me too.
Creamy cram it. Yeah.
So I've also thought a lot about that lining, because we're able to that's where we're absorbing everything through. But if you've done any of these cleanses, you know that you have mucoidal plaque lining especially the small intestine. So the small intestine has all the cilia, right? The little teeny tiny hairs. Those little tiny hairs are what's grabbing the nutrition and absorbing it through into the, actual lining of the intestine itself. When those cilia are coated with mucus, right? They're not able to really get out there and grab the little things going by. So I think that's also why maybe we have so many miles, so many
so that
feet.
you can have areas that are less effective, but you
could
still
have
have
almost half covered in snot, goo, mucoidal plaque.
still be okay.
And still the other half is absorbing, right? Because I think it's if we don't absorb nutrition, we
die.
Indeed.
Dead.
So it's
Dead
a pretty, end game if we're not absorbing any of our nutrition. And you see people like that too, maybe the Ozempic people and some things like that, where it almost looks like they're not absorbing anything and they're really kind of wasting away.
You said that secret word though. That's kind of a hot button though. Like that is what Ozempic does, is it paralyzes the intestine system, and that's how you lose weight, because all the food just sits there and you don't feel like you want to eat anymore. It helps you lose weight, but man, I don't know.
And I think it stops that peristalsis, that actual motion of the gut.
Like the kind of the snake sort of movement.
And we don't really want our stuff sitting around in us. That is the reason the tube goes one direction. It's to get it out. We take what we can from it and the rest is waste. And so it's eliminated and needs to be eliminated, as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to just hang out.
Get the good out, get the bad out.
Right.
Keep the good in, I don't know.
Yeah. And then that fermentation stuff starts to happen too, right? If it hangs in there long term.
Gas and other effects. Yep.
So in general, how do we make this area run smoother?
Let's figure it out.
Yes, if we could do that, a lot of other things will be beneficial. So a lot of times too, people end up going in for a surgery, maybe like a small arthroscopic, look at a gallbladder, look at this. Then in the end, they don't understand why they're having so much abdominal issues, but those looky-loo devices do kind of whirl around, and that fascial layer of the abdomen will get quite tight, congested. All that scar tissue will clamp it down. And then if you are just someone with endometriosis or, another type of issue in that area, you're going to have even more congestion. So we'll start with some abdominal massage, I guess, usually is what I do.
So you can literally just manipulate from the outside and fix a lot of these or prevent things from happening.
Absolutely.
I just love this.
Yeah.
My doctor never told me that.
Right. And I think preventing, that's where we're at, right? We're really trying to get to this point of where do we go before we have the problem?
Yeah. That would be the best place to be. If you have problems, see if we can fix them. If you don't have problems and you're still listening on episode 4, hopefully you're into what can I prevent? And this would be another great tool in your bag.
Right. Or if you've had an abdominal surgery thinking it was going to fix something and then you ended up with maybe another set of symptoms you weren't anticipating.
Sure. Or just an emergency appendectomy or a cyst or something or
myself, an emergency C-section.
C-section. Oh, that's a lot of scar tissue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be half the population times, a third of the pregnancies. That's a lot of people with a lot of abdominal scar tissue.
Yes. And I do think that's something I had to experience so that I can have this sympathy for my people who've gone through that. It's not a routine surgery. I don't think any surgery is a routine in our lives. We don't just pop on to the routine surgeries,
We are a hermetically sealed unit to cut it open and break the seal and get in there is that's not, it should be a last resort, right?
It should, 100%.
Yeah. And obviously,
yes, we're hoping
necessary
that our medical providers
for sure necessary. Yes, yes. No surgery is necessary is not the motto of this show.
No, I myself have had multiple. So, but I do have to say, when you have had a surgery, you understand that the scar tissue created through surgical procedures is completely different than the types of scar tissue your body creates on its own.
Like a cut or a scrape
or its own repetitive use.
Sure.
So that type of repetitive use, or even, this compression type of tension, these types of fascial adhesions are much easier to get through because they were created by you. When they are created by an external, especially it's a knife. It's a scalpel, it's a knife. I always assume too that's part of this hermetically sealed vessel's job is to keep itself sealed. So when we cut ourselves, we don't know that it's a scalpel. Our body just goes, oh gosh, we have this big cut. Let's, seal it up as hard as it can. So scar tissue is running in all directions. It's just trying to create an insane webbing pretty much from any and all dimension it can to hold that together. So what I do is I go back in and I draw lines in that scar tissue so that it can function along the lines that the body functions on.
And by draw lines, you don't mean with a pen.
Right. With my hand, yeah. Yes. I simulate where I want the fascia to be lining up and where I want that scar tissue to be lining up.
That's cool.
Right. So your therapist should be able to control that, instead of just kind of working all over it. They should have a system that feels like they are putting it back into where it needs to be. So if something is all wadded up, when you draw a line back through it, it can actually start functioning on the axis that the body wants to function again.
Reconnecting it to the places where the car accident now.
Right. Your body has just tried to protect itself.
Yeah.
I think I watch a lot of those Viking shows, and they get like stabbed in the stomach with these giant knives and then, or swords, and then they're back out battlefield year or so later,
right?
they burn, cauterize, do whatever they can, pour some herbs and whatever they do.
Yeah. Then take some drugs and you're just like back at it.
But it's like, oh, that's what our bodies were intended to do, was really take the blows and keep going. Obviously, our lifespan was maybe a little bit shorter in that type of environment, in that type of culture. But I see that that's the strength of the body. Really the warrior aspect of our body was able to take these blows and, tighten it back up and then just keep going. So in that same way, though, our body doesn't know that we've not been in a fight with a Viking sword and instead of, a doctor who's just cut us with a scalpel.
Sure.
Our body will still, I've been working on my C-section scar for over 9 years, and it is not anywhere near what I can get the other scar tissue in my body that was created through a car accident or just another type of injury. Once you incise that skin, it does something differently. So it's just something to be aware of. Not that it's not something you will ever need in your life, of course. I would have probably died if I hadn't have had it. So, of course, we need surgery. It's all great. Emergency care is amazing. But what can we do before? Is it the last case? Or if we've already had it, what can we maybe do to support our body now and clear out some of that stuff that is going to be preventing that blood flow, that hemodynamics in the area you need it the most, because all of your organs rely on blood.
All right. So what are some things you can do to do that?
So we have used our medicine ball in the past. So we did a little bit with our pectoralis, I believe, last time.
Yep.
So we're going to think about using this same tool with our abdomen. So obviously, you won't be doing this sitting up. It would be something you would do laying down. And I recommend doing this on the softest structure you have, probably your bed. If your couch is a lot softer, but your bed's generally going to be your softest.
I have a really bad couch. It's just you sink all the way in.
Okay,
so that would work. It would work for me. But
or if you have like a sleep number hard bed, that probably wouldn't be your best bet, right? So something that's soft. There are systems out there. One of the oldest systems I used over 20 years ago is called the Yamuna ball rolling system. They have some great products. Their balls are all different hardnesses. So you work from like the softest ball to the hardest ball.
Sure.
Which is great. But I have just decided, or you can change the softness of
the surface you're putting the ball against.
Of your surface.
So then you can use one ball. Or just have like
do you need
sizes.
A bunch of clutter in your home,
Yeah, I'll save people some money. That ball is like $10 on Amazon.
Right. And the Yamuna systems, they are a little bit more expensive. Yeah.
And we're not going to make any money with this podcast.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They're very nice. But like I said, if you're just using the same thought process, You don't need softer balls. You can just get a softer surface. And then you can manipulate that a lot easier than buying different balls all the time. Like, okay, my couch is a little bit too soft. Let's try the bed. No, maybe a couple rugs,
Yeah, or throw a pillow on top of it or something.
Exactly. So you can really play around with that and use your imagination. So the main thing when doing your abdominal releases, you have a center line called the linea alba. If you see any medical poster, there's that little white line in the center of the abdominal muscles. You'll have all the little button-looking muscles and then this little white line. It's called the linea alba. That just means white line.
Oh.
Literally.
Okay.
Indeed. And so that is all of those tendons, ligaments, basically everything that holds you together in the center.
Okay.
So what do you not want to press on?
Probably that.
That. Exactly.
Got it.
Right. We want all that. We want it to be tight. We want it to hold everything in. When it starts to split, some of the women will know that's called that diastasis recti kind
like
of.
as your belly gets bigger for pregnancy.
Yeah. So it will start to split. Things will start popping out and we can work on that another day.
Sure.
But we don't want to create that, right? We don't want to do anything to the
Voluntarily,
center line. So anytime we're working on our abdominals, we're going to be thinking about coming in from the side to the middle, not the middle out. So it's just a way of thinking about it. You're going to have that ball kind of right under your rib cage, angling it in, and you would then either lay on your stomach, you could lay over, on your couch with your hand over the arm. You could
like kneeling on the ground, laying over the couch, that kind of thing.
You could, or you could even just, I like lay on the couch like this, kind of sideways, and then roll to my stomach.
Oh, sure.
So you can play with some different angles there, and we can maybe.
And we'll be making some more video. Like I think it'd be useful. We can put them on YouTube separately, especially if you're listening to and you can't see what we're doing. We'll have nice, easily referenced videos later. But
perfect.
Yeah, continue.
So for right now, too, we're just going to basically be working at that diaphragm. We're not going to be working any of the lower pelvic floor. That gets
just kind
into
of the broad,
some of the
open belly
fertility.
space.
Exactly. This big, nice space above the belly button. You're going to put that ball right between your belly button and your rib cage. And as you would lay down, you would let it just sink in. You're not going to roll around. You're not scooting. You're not moving. You're just letting it compress into that quadrant. Sometimes after a couple of minutes, you might even hear like bloop, 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 bloop. Things really start opening up.
I know when I do this, it starts twitching like right away. Like as I'm trying to it's like, no, don't do it. Like there's just some protective, like, I don't know, maybe just my mental, like my belly is bigger than I want it to be. And so like, I'm like hypersensitive about it. But then you finally relax and it's like, it stops. And there's like a wave of like, oh, this is actually really good.
It does. It really relaxes you into that nervous system. You feel that pulse of your actual digestive flow. And you can use that as a little meditative time to use your imagination, push your blood flow further into your digestion. Yeah, find any areas. I had this really crazy release. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it was really, really interesting.
I'm still waiting for something like that. I'm so excited if I ever get like a chain reaction. But
I hung out, I think it was about 8 to 10 minutes on that one though. So once again, just take your time. Take your time. Don't rush through these things.
Yeah. We'll say it every single episode, 3 to 5 minutes at least for all releases, at least.
But also I like to not even be aware. Like I like to be outside of time when I'm doing these things. And so sometimes I will listen to music like those solfeggio frequencies. Sometimes I will listen to a podcast that, takes me away quickly.
Yeah, just stop thinking about, how long it's been.
Or a documentary or show I'm watching, something that I can just really, I don't really watch things a lot of times. I'm just listening. But so I'm laying on the floor and I'm doing my work and I can just go to when I feel like I want to stop.
Can you go too long? Is there any danger of like
You'll feel that. I think you'll yeah.
like it's time?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think too long doesn't. Yeah.
But if I fell asleep, no,
you wouldn't fall
You're
asleep.
not gonna
I
fall
don't
asleep?
think you could fall asleep like that. I think it's kind of like the biomat. I always tell people, like, you'll either have to pee, you'll have to go to the bathroom, you'll get hot, you'll get annoyed, like something is going to happen and your
keep you from
nervous
doing it
system
for
is
too
going to
long.
go, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're done.
Okay.
So that's also a good part of
And you do
that.
your other side.
And then you do the other side. Exactly. Right. So we need
Should
to
you
go
start on
both.
one side or the other? Does that matter? I know there's like something about the direction that I don't know if this applies here or not.
I guess if you did want to start, left side would always be optimal.
Okay.
Left side is descending colon.
Right.
So if we
So
want
if you have,
to,
I know like if you have gas, you lay on your left side, kind of curl up on fetal position and you tend to pass gas.
let's go that out. Yeah.
Quicker that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. You put everything into the position
downward
of the
position.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Got
So that would be exactly. I think if I were to do it, maybe start on the left. And then maybe you have an elimination, maybe something wakes up and you have to go to the bathroom, get up and do that before you do the other side.
Nice.
There aren't a lot of rules except for what are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Take the time to be patient and let yourself explore yourself.
Explore the studio space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. So the other great massage technique that I really love is the old school. It's called Zabludowski technique.
Zabludowski.
He's one of a very old massage therapist from like 1900s or something.
Okay.
But he has a cool last name, so he's
So you remember it.
so he's stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really, if you've ever kneaded dough, pizza dough, made
Sure.
bread, it's the exact same thing as that. So you're looking at your body, especially this area, as pizza dough.
Okay.
You're going to mush it over to one side and then you're going to mush it all the way back. So you're going to let that entire system flow. And you're going to use quite a bit of energy compared to maybe some of the other things we've done. So it's really a pick up, lift, and push. So if you're feeling
with the heel of your
with the heel of your hand and this hand about like this, you're going to scoop into the side, pick up, there you go, and push over.
Okay.
You feel how you can
it wants to fight back. It's like tensing.
So you're kind of not sliding across the skin. You're literally pushing it as far, the left as far
You're like
to the
snow,
right.
like snow plowing it as far as it'll go.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once again, we have all these miles and miles and miles. So I've had friends at festivals who could not go to the bathroom because of the porta potty situation. And
just mentally like locked up.
yep, and old Zabludowski comes in handy. So for a long time, I was kind of known as the poop massage therapist.
At the lady at the festival, you just
And even I had a couple clients that they couldn't go to the bathroom until so I would have to see them like once a week, and then and they'd be like, I knew. I'd have to just because that is one of the worst things if you can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like when you realize it's at a point where there's a problem, it's like panic inducing. Yeah,
people die like that. I mean, older people do die because the colon itself gets so thin. If that goes on and on and on and on and on for a long period of time, it just starts thinning out, I think, in certain places, and then it perforates, and it's not good.
You're Zabludowski. Sorry.
That was a good one, actually. That was pretty.
That should not be making fun of old people dying because they can't poo. That's not funny.
That's not funny. But
it's not. It isn't.
No, but pun
was pretty good. That was fire.
It was a decent one, yeah. So a lot of other issues that people will have is fertility. A lot of that gets locked into the digestion. I think also that uterus, most people don't realize, has a fundus just like our stomach. So it has an unattached aspect of the organ.
Okay.
So we obviously know it has a cervix, so it's attached there, and then it has some ligaments that come off to the sacrum, which is why a lot of times women will have what seems like their period in their backs. So they'll either have it in their backs or they'll have front cramps.
Okay.
Depending on where that is actually where their uterus and those ligaments are pulling on.
Okay. Interesting.
So so we can tell a lot and determine a lot about where their uterus is sitting inside of their body.
Based on that.
Based on their pain and how their menstruation takes place. So the uterus has this end that's unattached because
it needs to grow to hold a person.
And
I get it.
It's part of.
I'm a dude, but I'm like, I do know how it works generally.
And if it was attached at any point, it would not actually be able to grow and start displacing your other organs even at a certain point because it takes over everything.
So it's attached, but then it's loose.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. So, So when it is loose and hanging out in there, it can dump around, right?
Okay.
It can flip forward. It can be, I think that's called antiverted. It can, flip backwards. It can flip to either side. A lot of times I find it tends to like to flip down to the left side and almost be like right in where the descending colon is. And I think a lot of people with fertility issues have that patterning because there's just not enough room for both things to happen. So they might get pregnant and then have miscarriages over and over again because that descending colon is actually pushing and displacing the uterus.
Is that a bacterial problem or literally like a space compression problem?
I think it's a space problem. Just from what I've experienced. Because once I get it unlocked and kind of back to central neutral, no problems anymore.
And I know for a fact you've like helped a number of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, with good results, with the child being born at the end all the way through, which is, the optimal goal.
Yeah.
So that has been really what's fun about that other layer of the digestion is, all these other organs in there that we're not really taking into account that could be, that uterus can actually cause digestive problems. The digestive problems can cause uterine problems, right? So it's not
if they're
one
like
or the
attaching
other.
or hearing and creating just like issues.
Or if you, like we said, have endometriosis or something where that uterine lining is actually growing everywhere in the abdominal cavity. They found endometriosis lining all the way up into people's brains, even in autopsy.
Whoa.
So it's incredibly fascinating that your body will just, create these membranes all because it's confused, essentially.
Yeah, the stimulus is wrong.
But a lot of the abdominal work I do with those clients, it's night and day. The pain that they had, the restriction that they had, they felt like they couldn't move at all. And now they're able to do anything.
How much time does it take? A lot of sessions? Is that like relatively?
Usually not a lot.
Yeah,
it's usually only a couple.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people will come from out of town,
because it's something you can do a few sessions with you and have like life-changing results. Wow.
Or at least
or
someone
start
that
like you
thing too. Yeah. And then
Right.
they get a little bit of a life-changing result and then they see, oh, this is possible. And now with all of the other tools and things they can do at home and maybe finding somebody near them, there's a great chance that they don't have to suffer with all of the things that they've been dealing with.
What's that? It's the Aravago?
It's called Arvigo.
Arvigo.
Her name she's still alive. Dr. Rosita Arvigo created it. And she learned it. It's a Mayan work from a shaman named Don Eligio Ponte.
So that stuff figured out a long time ago.
Yes. So he was doing it one way and she was a Western doctor. So she came in and it really took the traditional work and applied it
science-backed
to the studies and kind of fleshed it out and created more of the system for all of us. And there is a lot of great herbs that we utilize in that system. So we do have herbs for fertility, herbs for stomach issues. Actually, there's one for digestion. There's a lot of really cool auxiliary things that can be done, which I do think herbs are a nice way to nurture, ourselves and support the systems in a natural way. There's even this really cool tea. I haven't tried it yet, but there's a new tea now that they're doing that's very a la traditional medicine,
Sure.
where each week, I think you get a different tea that supports your phase of menstruation. So, whether you're
Interesting.
luteal or follicular phase, like whatever phase you're in, it will have herbs that help you during that exact time, because we are not having the same hormones running through us every single month, every single week. It's all dependent. So having something like that we can support
your system.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. Because the herbs, our body takes what we don't like, it pees out. What it doesn't want to use, it will just get rid of.
Yep.
Whereas pharmaceuticals tend to blast their way into receptors.
Sure. Yeah. Literally hijacking like natural responses, which sometimes is necessary.
Which is sometimes 100% necessary.
For sure.
Exactly.
Especially when things are severely wrong. Yep.
I'm not anti-pharmaceutical, but there isn't one that is supporting menstruation. And as far as I know, except for birth control, which basically just takes it away.
Right.
And that's not really supporting the natural system at all.
Fair.
And I did that for a long time too, because I thought, oh, well, this is what's offered.
Right.
And
it fixes some problems or like makes things easier or whatever.
Yeah. It was
understood.
great for a small amount of time. And then I created a whole nother problem on the back end that fortunately this work helped me troubleshoot and was able to have my daughter. So,
wow.
But I was on birth control for 17, 18 years, actually 19 years. So yeah, it's a long time,
Yeah, definitely.
So it can, you don't realize too how that can affect you. There's some really interesting studies too. And I do look at my dating past, maybe TMI, but that they say that when we are on birth control, we're maybe not choosing the right partners because our hormone system is a little bit different. And we're also not looking for a partner to procreate with. So our needs are changing. Our, desire of a mate is changing. It's not really what they're providing for us, or whatever it is.
That kind of makes sense.
And
There's some logic to that.
I can see. Oh, maybe
they weren't
that
quite
was
life
true.
partner material. Got it.
Maybe that was part of the problem, that my own, I hijacked my own physiological ability to determine who was maybe right for me. And, I do think our bodies have more wisdom than our minds. So,
it's just some of the people I know out there. I agree. Yeah. I'm knowing myself. There's some truth to that. Ideally letting your body do things the way it's designed to do is the ideal version. Right. So, I know I've been on a lot of different pharmaceutical things over the years for different reasons. And it's like, I much prefer to be off if I can do things naturally, it would be the best version. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was on SSRIs for a year and I'm like now finally off and have been for a month and I feel great. But I really think they were needed. I needed them for a period because my system was so dysregulated. I just couldn't like I can't even like talk about it. It's just very like just anxious inside my body. Then after working with you for a year, I'm like, I want to see if like all of that feedback noise and all this like anxiety that was coming from that certain like instability and the dysregulation, like, am I more balanced now? And the answer was, yeah, I feel fine now and I don't need it. So like that was awesome that it was there. When I needed it and that I don't need it is also awesome. Right.
And I think that's a great way to even start to understand, what do I need to do to support myself right now?
Yeah. Where along that spectrum are you? Are you in preventative? Probably don't need some things. Are you in a disaster? Like you might need pharmaceutical interference. You might need, different, like a more extreme solution in the short term while you work on yourself and then hopefully maybe be able to wean off things.
Right. Because we all just can't stop and work on ourselves, in a perfect world, right? We could all just quit our jobs and move to the woods and just work on ourselves 100% of the time, but that's right.
Yeah, we can't all be, what's that guy's name? The never die guy.
Oh yeah, Brian. Creepy face.
Brian Creepy Face. Where his full-time job is not dying.
Yeah.
I have millions of dollars. I'm not going to die.
It's my full-time job too, but I don't. I don't have as much time.
Right, which is not as much time.
Not as much time.
Yeah, it's a part-time job is not dying.
There you go.
Yeah.
My hobby.
I'm a hobby liver. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what other things can you? I mean, in an extreme case, someone would need to go to a specialist to do, for some of the urine
there's a
stuff. But like, what are some things you can do
Arvigo.
yourself?
There's some Mayan abdominal clients, people online. There's a website for that, a practitioner site for that. I do believe not all the practitioners are on that site also.
Google it, right?
Because I was going to say my friend isn't on
somebody.
there, and we were in the same class together, so I'm not sure.
What are some other things that we could do to support our gut health, our abdominal, our systems that are all affected by this?
So some of my favorite things to do, and of course it's also becoming popular online. I just saw a video on it this morning. I've been doing this for forever though. It's castor oil packs. They're one of the oldest, cheapest ways of breaking down abdominal scar tissue.
Okay.
They are great. I've even seen people, you just put it in your belly button. But
just the oil itself.
Yeah, just the oil. The oil is very noxious though. It's like the most sticky oil. If it's not like olive oil. It's
more like honey or?
It's a little bit more. It's it's a lot thicker.
Okay.
Less thick than honey, but similar, I guess you could say, and very sticky. So I really like this one castor oil pack. We can reference like $10 on Amazon, but it's plastic kind of on one side and then the flannel on the other side. You just want some type of barrier because whatever shirt you wear over it, it's going to get all over.
Yeah. So the castor oil pack is you literally like you put the oil on
the pack,
like a giant bandage, and then put it on yourself kind of idea, right?
So this thing that you can buy, it's just, like I said, plastic on one side, flannel on the other side. You just pour the castor oil right onto the flannel.
On the flannel side.
Let it soak in for a little bit, and then put it right onto your stomach. Once it's soaked into your pack, you can keep that pack in a glass jar or just somewhere kind of out of where you're going to touch it. I like to fold it all together so it's not getting bacteria on it. Castor oil doesn't really grow a lot of things like other oils. So
you can reuse it a few times?
Exactly. You can reuse it for months.
Wow.
So instead of filling up my pack though, I'll just put a little bit in my belly button or a little bit on my scar itself, and then I repack.
Gotcha. And you just use whatever's still on there.
Yep. It pretty much holds in there.
Okay.
And then it has these little strings, and then
so you can tie it on.
Tie it right on.
Okay.
I just put like a tighter tank top, on to hold it tight against my skin. And then if you want, you can take I really like the microwavable bean pack, heating pack things.
Okay, sure.
Warm that up 3 minutes or whatever, put it on your stomach. Those will only hold heat about 10 to 15 minutes, so you're not going to overcook. I think some people, they love to sit with a heating pad.
Just like endlessly.
And that's not a good idea. One, I don't think you should be sleeping with heating pads at all. Just fire hazards here, people. So
I know a guy who lost his leg because of that.
Right. I
personally.
mean, I've had my house burned down, not because of that, but anything that is electrical, I'm not really a big fan of just keeping it on. So, that being said, also, most people want to use heating pads for everything. Oh, my neck hurts. Let me sleep with this heating pad on. You are meat. You are muscle meat.
We are meat bags.
What happens when you slowly heat up meat at like a low temperature for a long period of time?
I mean, that's like smoking meat. It would get... If you cook it.
Dehydration. Right. You're slowly making yourself beef jerky.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell people.
Yeah. Which is delicious.
You heard of beef jerky? We don't want to be beef jerky, right? So we want to not slowly cook ourselves. So those bean packs I love because one, they're more of a moist heat. You'll actually feel it kind of moist.
Yep.
And you put that on your abdomen, you put that on wherever you wanted to, but in this case, we're doing this castor oil pack.
So castor oil pack, then heating pack on top of it.
Then heating pack right on top. Go to sleep.
Okay.
And if it, when you wake up.
The heat will wear off, so it's no problem.
Right. Or if it wears off before you go to sleep, just throw it on the floor, go to sleep. So it's like as low effort as possible, I think, is the castor oil packs.
So who's a good candidate for you should probably try this, go on Amazon, buy Like who needs a castor oil pack?
I mean, honestly, I think everybody does.
Everybody. We'd all benefit from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just great. Once again, everybody has some sort of congestion in their abdomen,
And it just
in
helps.
that liver, in that, right, all the things we just talked about. So we want those things to express themselves. And so that castor oil really sinks in. I'm sure you can look up all the different studies on it.
There's a lot out there. I looked into it once. I bought the bottle of castor oil and the things, and then I like,
And then you stopped.
I did. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Yes.
I didn't want like my kids or my wife to be like, what's on your bread? And I was like, oh, it's castor oil. Like there was like something weird about, like, I didn't want to, just didn't feel like doing it. But, and I think it was because I wasn't sure which reason I was doing it for. I don't remember now. I still have the things. I just have never tried it.
So, yeah, it's good for almost everything. But yes, scar tissue,
Especially good for scar tissue.
needing to eliminate, wanting to push more elimination, toxins out of you. Like just,
Okay.
like I said, everything is here. So
Right.
if you can help it out, in any way that you can, you're going to just be ahead of the game,
So if your motility is slow, or if your
or if you have
stomach
diarrhea, or,
too
either
fast.
one,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
Yeah, I think both of those are showing
Imbalance. Okay.
showing some sort of dysfunction in the system. So, right. A lot of these things too, they will regulate themselves. You just put certain things onto the body, give it certain stimulus, and it will figure out what it wants to do.
Right.
So,
I love that.
yeah.
So cool.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
much more
awesome.
helpful than us trying to figure it out, right? So,
Yeah.
another thing, I guess, would be a lot of people take antacids
Sure.
a lot of times. I think that's one of the most
for gas
common.
and, or indigestion or acid reflux.
Yes, I know the Tums in my house are,
Get
quite popular on pizza day. So
Tums are okay.
I think Tums are actually okay, but that's, like I said, just if I hit the pizza or the tomato sauce or whatever.
Sure.
I do think a Tum is just like an alkalizer. So I don't see anything. I don't think you should overuse them either. I think, maybe once a month, or you hit a bad food. Ooh,
Sure.
try it out. But the Prilosec and the more, I guess,
Things that affect the lining, or affect more
and I think they're meant to dampen the stomach acid itself, like the actual
creation
system.
process, the
Yeah.
system. Yeah.
I don't like
Don't
that.
love that idea.
Eventually, you are going to end up with another problem.
Another knock-on effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in our system, we recommend slippery elm. Just tell people.
It's like as a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want, you can make it into a tea.
Mm.
Which is then you would put the slippery elm into water, let it sit on your counter overnight. It becomes like a mucilaginous goo, which is
delicious.
so yummy to just drink.
Sure.
I take the pills, so
just the capsules. That sounds easier.
I'm not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I even am not at that level, of
Yeah.
wanting to suffer for for things. So. If you are capable of drinking it, and maybe you have also some esophageal or maybe reflux that's really affecting you up into your throat, maybe the drinking of the slippery elm
actually
would
have
be
it
the
like
best.
coat. Yeah.
But it really is just recoding, because all of our inside of our mouth, it's all mucous membrane. So if there is no mucus on the mucous membrane, you are going to have irritation, inflammation, because that's what that acid is doing, right? The acid is kind of wearing off all of your mucus. So we want to re-put that mucus onto it.
Yeah.
So,
But one of the reasons that can be happening in the first place, though, is just things are, your space is so scrunched up that your stomach is higher, or your sphincters or whatever are stuck open. That's the right word, right? And just pushing that acid level up and out. I think that
exactly
on that level, with these kind of movements, that stuff is helpful for that as well.
Yes. And then we can even go over the third movement, which would be just from above down. So
above
if
down.
you have
Okay, so we got side to side.
side to side.
Okay.
If you have that hiatal hernia or that kind of reflux GERD, I think people call it, this irritation here, it's a little sphincter valve that sometimes through compression, I think it tips itself and just kind of hangs and gets stuck and is not really opening and closing like it should.
Okay.
So you can actually take your hands and press in and down. So there's a small bone here called the xiphoid process. Do not point into that. So there's this little teeny tiny bone sticking off the end of your sternum.
Right.
Don't
below
go
that.
Yeah.
Go below that.
Go below that. There'll be kind of an opening, like a hole.
Uh-huh.
You'll feel that hole.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into that hole, sink in.
Oh, it's super.
Yeah, you'll feel it. You'll feel a hole.
That feels very spicy.
Yes, that's where your valve is.
Okay.
So usually one finger, not so great. We'll go with 2 fingers. I mean, you can, but it'll feel way more spicy because you're going right at it.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of go on both sides of it instead of directly on it.
That's
Once
better.
again.
Yeah.
Once again, same as the lymph. It's like we can affect dead center by affecting around it and not necessarily upsetting it.
Yeah.
Right. So we can coax our problem area where we want it to go, but not necessarily piss it off in the process. Right. So it's just like a little balance there. So yeah, you'll just take both those hands, find that little divot hole and start pulling down. More of a flat finger.
Flat finger.
So a nice flat finger right on that hole. So not an in finger, a nice flat finger. There you go. And then just flat down. Do you see how when you're pulling down, you can kind of feel like the center is pulling as well? Mm-hmm. And you just hang out. Hang. And so it's not like a pulling, like I'm not pulling my shirt. I'm just...
Is this 3 to 5 minutes also?
This could be about 45 seconds.
Okay.
This could be a
This is
shorter
one of those
one.
rare, like shorter
Yeah,
spine
because it's
things.
kind of an irritating spot, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
felt like, I want to get, I want to get off
I poked
of
it. I'm like, no,
yeah.
something's going on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that's why you don't want to poke in.
Yeah.
Just on top.
Just cup it. Like on
and
the sides.
on top. So I'm just, my fingers are on my skin, but they're going on top.
Okay.
That help. Yeah. There you go.
Right
so
on.
if you start going in, like if your fingers are going in like
you're
that,
trying to get in and
then it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So just a nice gentle pull down, and you're not riding it. You're just holding it, coaxing it down.
Okay.
And that's it. And this can, even while you're eating, sometimes people will feel it and they can just do it right then.
That's for like that GERD, acid reflux, all those kind of
Just
things.
keep everything flowing in the correct direction. Yep. That's going to be, very helpful.
That's cool.
Another thing I guess we could talk about is fiber. Most people too are having like issues with not going to the bathroom.
Right.
On the other hand, like that constipation thing with the slippery elm. So they're trying to, really need to keep things moving out. Our diets are not really fiber based because we're not eating a lot of vegetables anymore. I mean, even with the pulse saladinos and everything.
We'll juice it. We'll do
myself.
this. You're just avoiding fiber at all costs, pretty much.
Right. I myself was like, I don't think I've eaten a salad in like a month. I was like, I don't know if that's
so
good.
much.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have, kind of rebalanced my diet, but the power bar of the year is the carrot.
The carrot.
So carrots are one of the only insoluble fibers that your body won't ever break down.
Okay.
So there's some different people who use the carrot salad and like the Ray Peat method of metabolic dieting and stuff. But this is one of your best gut cleaners is your carrot.
It's just carrots.
So if you take and you grate a carrot, you'll see it has this kind of cellulose. You can see like the actual cells in the tissue
the
of
small
the
slivers
carrot.
like down the middle. Yeah.
And those absorb, they pull in excess estrogen from our body. They pull in some toxins, some of this extra hormone, but essentially that estrogen is being the key one. And they are then not reabsorbed, so they're just gotten rid of. So if you can shred, or I will just eat it in the car. I'm like, my teeth are shredding it in a way.
It's true.
Some people will actually do the peeler.
Just do like the little slivers.
I don't like that texture as much. So it's just depending on what you like. You can put a little salt on it, a little olive oil or coconut oil if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But on an empty stomach, like in between meals.
Yep.
So you don't want it, you don't really want to eat it with your food because it's going to be dragging your food too, and you're not going to get to digest your food as well.
Gotcha.
So you're using this as a gut cleaner, so you want to use it away from food. So a lot of times, like between breakfast and lunch, that's your
like morning snack.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, with a little bit of like rice vinegar and salt, like some nice granular salt, actually it's kind of a nice snack.
I think it's
done that.
Yeah.
Is the goal to get it as small as possible? Like, or does that matter?
I don't think so.
Or should you just be swallowing whole carrots?
I mean, the lady that I see, she eats it too. I think it's as long as you're shredding it with your teeth, you're getting,
So like
you're creating
open
those,
the fibers up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fibers. I do just grate it, but I find when I grate it, it goes bad. Like, so I can't make a bunch of it.
Right. Yeah. You get like a 2-hour time limit on it or something.
I can't like meal prep the carrot salad the way they say you can online. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. Like,
yeah, maybe it's because we're in Florida and it's humid or something.
I mean,
know.
I literally opened it yesterday. I just made it yesterday, ate it, opened it up yesterday to eat it. And Matt was like, oh, I wouldn't eat that.
That was quick.
He was like, I was like, no, I smell it too.
Okay.
Bummer. It just smelled. Yeah, it was like that fast. So
but carrots are cheap, so that's a good one. Yeah,
they are, and the organic carrots are cheap, and so
nice.
I highly recommend that. As the other major gut cleaner they use is mushrooms, and I don't like mushrooms as much.
I love mushrooms
that
on my
would
pizza.
Be up to you.
I don't know if it's helping so much if I put it on my pizza.
No.
But
no.
I mean,
not so much. Yeah,
not so much. Okay, fair enough.
But it's and things don't have to be overly complicated. I think is the big point too. It's like sometimes the easy thing is the answer. We talked a little about diet last time. It's like we want to grab the power bar or the snack, but it's like this is
what I need in a package, and it's like but.
Right.
If last episode we were talking about just the benefits of eating whole foods, a power bar, if it's in a package, it's not whole foods. There's ingredients, there's preservatives, there's a reason it can live on the shelf for 6 months or a year, or 2 years, or whatever it is.
A hunk of meat is a power bar, a good piece of Parmesan cheese, or a carrot, or it's been peach season. We're almost done. I'll cry, but a little bit of peach with some honey. Is
so good.
I mean, is that anything better in the world? I don't know. So
brownies with vanilla ice cream.
I was going to say the ice cream cake. I also got from Dairy Queen. Wasn't too bad. But.
Yeah. But fair enough. Fair enough.
Right.
Of the good choices.
Right. And you can balance that too. Then so but just try the carrot. It's a good one. Good one to try.
Nice. I mean, that's a good place to start with some gut stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more that we can't cover in 1 hour, but.
Right. And I think too, a lot of it's going to be seeing each individual person as we start getting feedback, and then we can start being more specific. Yeah. But most of the time, if you're in this tech type of work, which is, what we're gearing ourselves towards, is you're going to be in this compromised head forward compression state. So everything we can do to get you out of that is going to be affecting all of these different systems that are being affected more than you realize they're being affected.
Yeah. And the effects of that are they're just all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. And they can seemingly feel like you need 100 specialists.
Right. And none of them are helping.
Right. And maybe you're the specialist since you live in your own body.
That's right.
We're going to make you the specialist by the end of this.
That's the hope. Yeah. So you can take care of yourself.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, or in the last episode, we mentioned possibly trying to get some kind of community group or Zoom call together if people want to go through some more detailed things. That's something you're interested in. Just send us an email and we'll see what the options might be. But mailbag@recoverymode.fm. Awesome. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you then.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
If you have a question you would like to ask Jack and Marce, head to the mailbag section of our website, recoverymode.fm.